Hey everybody, and welcome to Deckinaround. My name is Tyler.
I am Steve from woundedcorner.com.
And tonight we are super excited for our guest, Stu McCann. But before we get into it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So without further ado, let's welcome Stu.
Stu.
What up, Stu? How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
Not too bad. We appreciate you coming on. We're super excited to have you on tonight, man. We've gotten a lot of good audience questions already.
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, we do. Did we get a Kyle question in yet, or what?
We did get a Kyle question in for later, so I got a good one there. And yeah, I have to say, not surprisingly, a lot of your questions revolve around the taste and/or scent of decks. So, but we did get some other ones that were not as same track there. So
yeah.
And it looks like the chat is blowing up for you already too, which is awesome. We got a good crowd out here. I see Lou, Matt, Kyle, a lot of people.
Nice.
Bacon.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see the chat, so hi to everyone. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it.
Right on. Yeah, if you oh yeah, you're on your phone, so you probably won't be able to see it.
But what we'll do is when we have questions we pull in from the chat, they'll pop up right on the bottom of the screen, so you'll be able to see them right there, and we'll do as best we can to help you out there.
Yeah.
But so Stu, how are things going with you lately?
Really good, man. Really good. I've been blessed enough to stay busy with work.
Nice.
So during all this COVID madness, I've managed to keep myself busy 5 days a week. But apart from that, things have been pretty good. Just baseline, nothing spectacular. I haven't received anything. I haven't ordered anything. I haven't really been tracking any projects or anything. So
yeah, it's an interesting time with everything going on and what decks are available to people, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. It's weird because some places are, not shipping. Some places are shipping.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, especially being over here in Australia, you've got to expect that there's already delays with international parcels. Normally on average, stuff takes 2 to 3 weeks to arrive here, and that's when everything's running smooth. So trying to stay up with the new releases that comes out is a tricky thing to do from over here, because you just don't know with the shipping at the moment. Some companies are just straight up refusing to ship at the moment because there's no certainty with delivery times. And I get that. I understand that. It's completely reasonable of them to do that, but it's also why I'm just really not participating in the international market at the moment.
It's definitely a risky situation right now.
Yeah, I'm managing to get through most of my suppliers over here. They're getting their wholesale orders through reasonably. Everything's still delayed. I just got my my V2 rip and dips, but I got them retail over here. So by the time you do the currency conversion, it's not too bad. You pay what you pay for them, but I got them, so I'm happy.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that's really crazy is buying from private sellers. There's been quite a few private sellers that might be down and out with money and need to sell some decks, and they end up selling decks and then they don't end up shipping them out. They're like, oh, I don't want to go out. Things are crazy. I don't want to go to the post office. And then you say, I mean, all you have to do is drop it in the box or refund the money, and they're like, oh, I don't have the money. I spent it already. Yeah. And it's it's crazy. They're using this as a way to scam people.
I'm kind of glad that the Australian market over here is still sort of really small, because there aren't a lot of people jumping on the sales and then turning around and reselling. So we can get access to international eBay and all that. But by the time we look at the postage from an eBay seller versus a retailer, you may as well just go with the retailer.
Right.
But I mean, private sellers are good, but like I said, I'm just staying well the hell away from everything at the moment, just because of that. I'm still buying domestically, which is good.
Right.
But it's just a slow trickle. So I'm kind of excited that Murphy's are releasing the remedies to all the wholesalers. When was it? This week, I think.
Tomorrow, they're available tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that my guys over here, because I know a few of them are regular Murphy's customers.
Nice.
I'm hoping they'll jump on it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Because I mean, it seems to be a fairly popular deck, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's obviously it's a Madison Schneider deck, but you know, Madison doesn't usually sell you know, his decks to Murphy's or other outlets other than his own. So it's kind of like the first deck I've seen since Illusionist, you know, from Madison that has been available to retailers. So it's kind of cool that we can get them now, you know, because a lot of people, you know, for whatever reason, you know, in the past, you know, I know there's a lot of, you know, some people have negative outlook on the way Daniel Madison did his whole shipping stuff and all that.
Oh my God, that's an absolute nightmare, that scenario.
Yeah, so I mean,
look,
I wasn't
I'm
around.
a Madison fan, like, you know, I'm in the malliance. I subscribe to his Patreon page, and I'll still admit that his whole shipping is just it's a fiasco.
Yeah, and you know, that's the cool thing about it. So I think a lot of people who withhold from buying from him now have the opportunity to buy it from retailers that they know they're going to get it from a little quicker. You know, I mean, that guy is, I can't even imagine how busy that guy is. I mean, I can't imagine how long it takes to even put a video together that he does. You know, he's definitely a super creative person, and you can tell he spends a lot of time with his craft, and you know, I'm sure that kind of affects all the other stuff that's involved, whether it's shipping out decks or getting back to people's emails and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that he's changing his attitude and changing his approach to it all, because it's going to be for the better in the long run.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and I think at some point or another, everyone's got to think that you got to be willing to see that and kind of grow a little bit and get it out there. If people really want it, you know, you're only hurting yourself if you can't get it out there for other people. So.
Yeah,
I think one of the cool things too is that we were talking about the other day with the shipping and everything, and you know, kind of going back a little bit to the situation at hand. I know you were saying that you had ordered something a while ago from the UK, and it was actually just like finally getting a tracking number and releasing. I was having that same issue. I had a order fulfilled maybe 3 weeks ago now, and I still haven't heard anything come through on it other than like acceptance in the UK. So it's interesting to see how shipping really for a lot of smaller retailers is getting held up, and how some of them are actually opting to avoid it altogether until they can actually figure out how to get that worked out.
Well, I mean that's where I'm up to as well. I've got a couple of shipments that I need to send out. I've got a trade that I worked out with Daniel Schneider. He was chasing a Madison Players deck. I happened to have a spare one. So I traded him that for a signed private reserve. But he went to the post office to send me my deck. And he just said Germany straight up isn't sending to Australia at the moment. So you've got to wonder how that's being reflected through other countries, or other countries just having that same hardline approach of just like, okay, we're not going to send anything until this is resolved. And I think anything coming through Europe is going to be faced with that challenge, because there's so many countries and everything through there. There's so many different ports to which stuff gets handled and processed. The major facilities, and once you go into someone else's airspace, you know, what's the deal then? I really don't know, and I know that airlines over here are running at a skeleton crew. They're running essentials, and that's it. They're doing domestic flights for essential workers, and we're still doing a couple of Mercy flights to bring people back from abroad. But that's about all the air travel that's going on at the moment. I ordered an express parcel, which normally takes 2 days to get to me from one of my domestic guys. It took 6 days this time.
Jeez, wow. That's crazy.
And that was just domestic. So, everything's slow everywhere. But that UK order that we're specifically talking about there, Tyler, that's my Ristretto playing cards.
Yeah, you were saying that. So
for all you scent aficionados, like I'm really waiting to get that one.
Do those smell like coffee? Are they supposed to smell like coffee?
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
Hey, Clint. Hey, Stu, are you typing right now?
No.
Dude, I don't know where that noise is coming from, but it's interesting little like ghost typing sound.
Yeah, I can hear it too. I thought it was just on my.
It's not. Yeah. None of us are typing, and we hear like a typing noise. I'm like, what is going on?
Definitely an interesting one. We'll figure out where the ghost is coming from at some point, but oh well.
Yeah, crazy.
You know, I'm really interested to see though what those ristrettos are going to smell like, because is it going to be coffee scented, or is it going to be like actual smell like coffee beans? It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't smell like old coffee.
Yeah, or stale coffee. Nobody wants that. But
I don't want regular coffee. Never mind stale coffee.
See, I don't mind the smell of coffee.
I have a great idea since we're on the topic of sniffing. Yeah. I think it would be really cool to do a little test with you. I think, we talked before and we said that, maybe we'll have you pull up 3 decks. They're all in protective sleeves, so you're not going to know which tuck box is which, right?
That's correct.
What is that typing? It's driving me crazy.
I've got like a pillowcase here. I can randomize them up in. You want to
show the deck so everybody knows what we're looking at?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So we got the wait, sorry, I gotta get this reverse camera right. Okay. So we got the Rainbow Superiors.
Nice.
From EPCC, right on.
Yeah. Then we have the V2 Rip and Dips.
Nice.
If only those smelled like ice cream, right?
Oh, I know, right? And then we've got the
Copags. Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah.
Little Catamundi.
I love this. Love this deck.
Yeah.
So I have to get blindfolded here now and everything, right?
Let's do it. Yeah, it's about to get fun.
Yeah.
Right,
no.
Let me just get everything in so I don't have to fumble around like a jackass.
Okay. Sounds good.
But I came pre-prepared, so everything's. Here's a blindfold I prepared earlier.
I don't even want to know why you had that ready, Steve. Still.
All right, so now for all you people in the comments section, this is the time to type shit about me because I can't see shit.
You can still hear though. You can still hear us. That's the big part.
I can still hear the ghost typing.
Yeah, right. Is it when I'm talking?
It's when you're both talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from, but interesting.
I don't know.
It's just like I'm just trying to feel like a giant ball bag here right now. A little bit. So I've got no idea what I'm doing on camera right now.
Yeah, we won't tell you. We won't tell you how horrible it looks.
Sweet. That's my wheelhouse.
For anyone who's just getting on, Stu is going to blind sniff test 3 different decks and see if he can identify them between a Superior, a Rip and Dip V2, and a Copag 310.
So I don't know what this is.
So we got the first deck here. And Stu, for posterity's sake, has also put everything in a DS1 just to make sure that he doesn't know what it is by the feel of the top.
This one's actually kind of easy. I would know this one.
You say that because you can see.
No, this one would be easy actually.
Yeah. But the scent is easy as well.
Yeah.
The scent's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Which one is that?
That's the expert.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Well, the crazy thing is that tuck box is super.
Okay. Before I even open the other ones and smell the other ones, am I even looking at the camera right now, or am I just like?
No, you're looking right. You were good.
Yeah,
you're good.
Sorry. The difference between decks is the paper that you can smell and the ink, but not so much the ink, it's more the glue, right?
Right.
So that's the very distinct smell that gives off. And
the EPCC box is so easy to tell.
Yeah. But they just smell way too like. There's no real fucking hectic. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We're 15 minutes in. You can swear all you want.
All right, cool, sweet. Yeah, there's no hectic glue smell, and that's the dead giveaway. So, like when you smell USPCC versus Cardamundi, that's the giveaway.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not even going to try and reclose that. Just put it back there. Where's my ball bag gone?
Not a problem.
It's called a deck bag. It's a deck bag.
That's my
your deck sack?
Quick, suck on my deck bag.
Oh my god.
But I mean, like, okay, if we're all being real with each other, if you pick up a deck, you can you blind tell a deck when you pick it up?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, you use the 3 decks that you used actually are pretty easy to tell the difference even before you smell them. The Copac deck is like picking up a brick. That thing's heavy as hell.
Yeah. And that's it. But I mean, you get a USPCC deck and they just rattle around in the box.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why they're so easy to tell the difference.
Yeah.
So we know this is the Cardamundi.
Yep.
But look, there's no
only us morons that are into cards are going to be doing a live with some dude blindfolded smelling decks. Good Lord. I wonder what people on Twitch are doing. They're probably looking at this being like, what the F is going on here?
Who's typing?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that typing is driving me absolutely crazy.
Yeah. So let me reach into my deck bag.
Your bag of decks.
Bag of decks. There's only one deck left in there. So really, what decks would be fair to be comparatively used? Should I use the Slimline versus the 310?
Yeah, it probably would have been a little more difficult, but Amber said, is Stu wearing headphones or speakers? It's probably like stuff bouncing off his speaker because he's on his phone. So
yeah, but it's only coming through when you and I talk, which is interesting. Oh yeah, so maybe it's bouncing back in.
It's got. I mean, it's never happened before, so I don't know what's going on.
Do you want me to put some headphones on?
You should be. If you have them, try them out. But otherwise, I wouldn't sweat it too much. Yeah.
I mean, I'd sweat it. Good job, by the way. You got them. You got them all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely try to put headphones on if you can. If we can get rid of this typing, it would be amazing. Card guys, Tim.
There we go. I always have a tough time with the name connections there, so like I never call people by their name if I know it.
Right.
All right, let's see what these things do, Stu.
I hope it fixes it.
Yeah, otherwise we're gonna be thrown. So.
Can we hear it?
How we doing? I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Oh,
that was it. Yep. Perfect.
Perfect. Amber, you rock, Amber.
Thank you, Amber. She's always got our back with the technical stuff, so we appreciate it.
You crush it. We're gonna when we start making money, we're gonna bring you on for something.
You'll be our sound technician for sure. And
yeah, right. Amber
right.
making the rest of the show much more enjoyable. Thank you, Amber.
There we go. Just honestly, just for that, Amber, DM me your address. You're getting Deckinaround stickers. So there you go. That's a big thank you right there.
Actually, we're gonna add 2 decks to that. We're gonna add 2 decks to that. So
Steve's feeling generous tonight. There you go.
Message Tyler.
I was going to say we should chuck a deck in for that.
Yeah, we can definitely
for sure. Yeah. Well, let's get into some questions here. Actually, you know what? Before we get into questions, how did you get involved in collecting cards?
Yeah.
How did I get involved?
Yeah, what got you involved? Was it like, did you...
Magic
So
yeah. So I started off back in the day, and I touched on this a bit last night in a live that I did with Lou. We started rambling on about the old days and what actually got me interested and what got me started. I used to hate magic. Because like when I thought of magic, I thought of stage magic. I thought of Copperfield and everything like that. These sort of over-the-top illusionists that relied on wires and trapdoors and hot assistants and stuff like that. So that's what I thought magic was. Yeah. And then I started to see like stuff like David Blaine do his street specials and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the actual name of the special that he did, but so one of the first ones where he's just walking around on the streets, and he's actually doing, and he's just doing all this close-up magic that looks like crazy. I mean, he's doing the over-the-top stuff as well, and then you see dynamos and that sort of come through, and at some stage, I'm just like, well, I know you're bullshitting me now. You're not going to take. You're not going to take a phone and stick it inside a glass bottle. I'm not an idiot.
No, they'll stick cards inside of a glass bottle instead.
Yeah. But still, that was my exposure to magic. So I was just like, that was something that never ever seemed touchable or reachable to me. And then slowly I started to I saw Penn and Teller's Fool Us.
Hell yeah!
That's where I first saw Daniel Madison do his Scott routine.
Yeah.
And I saw Damien O'Brien on there as well. I saw a whole bunch of magicians just doing stuff that seemed achievable. It didn't seem over the top or sort of really blown out with the whole crowd reactions and everything like that. It was just guys that had practiced their art.
Right.
So that sort of got me interested in it again. At least receptive to the idea of it. And then cards just came along. They just came along. I got into puzzles. I like doing puzzles. So I think like most people, I got in off Ramsey.
The fucker. That dude, like,
he opened a wide door there. Yeah.
That's like he should be some sort of ambassador. Like, I'm not a massive Ramsey fan, but I mean, I think he should be some sort of ambassador for what he's done for the industry.
Yeah. Well, next. Keep
Yeah. Okay. So and that's when I stumbled into cards. That's what got me into it.
Nice.
Picked up the deck of cards, and I've always sort of been into photography a little bit. Never owned a camera, never done photography courses, so I wouldn't know the first thing about proper settings. But I just happen to have an iPhone, and they take a decent shot, and I got lucky with a couple of shots. I got lucky with a couple of shots, and that just sparked my interest.
Nice, that's awesome though.
What was your first deck? What was your first deck that you got?
I do believe it was the Bicycle Hidden deck.
Oh, cool.
That is actually an awesome one. I have one upstairs. I haven't opened it yet, but they're a good-looking deck.
I haven't opened it yet. The story of Tyler. Dude has like 700 decks, and he has like 55 decks to open. He's like...
Oh, my God. I've started opening one a day now, so...
He has a calendar he sets up. He sets up for when he opens up his decks.
And
pretty much.
Do you have any sort of opening ritual?
So, you know what? It's funny, and it's kind of forced me to open more decks with the whole like pictures I've been taking for my Instagram, is trying to find colors that aren't just like, oh, red deck, red deck, red deck, red deck, or the same deck I have 9 times, because obviously if you're doing a fan of the back, no one wants to see the same back 9 times. So I went upstairs probably last week, and I pulled all the decks I had like set aside to open, and I just put them on the table and I kind of like ordered them out, and now I have like a list of decks. Like I just walk over and pull the first one off the pile. I open it for the day. I take the picture, and it's forcing me to open at least one of them. So like that Ellen deck, which Steve's probably heard me say I wanted to open for what, like 2 months now. I finally opened it today. So.
And how was it?
It was nice. I mean, it was a standard 3011 deck. The embossing on the tuck is beautiful, and that teal color of it is spectacular. Like, awesome. I think that it's probably one of my favorite, like, for the lack of a better term, like standard 3011 decks, you know, without getting into like gold monarchs and some of like the really like Metalux backs and crazy stuff. I love the color of it. I love the silver accenting on it. It's just a good looking deck. So
it really is.
It was, yeah.
Clint said you opening decks is like an advent calendar. Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's so true. It's so true.
I open like one a day, if that. So, but the only time I'll open, I actually opened 2 decks the other day, and they were the Grandmaster Casinos that Devo just put out, because they were 2 of the same deck, except one had a different tuck, and I was just like, I can open both of these. So,
you found a way to compromise.
Exactly. You know, one day I'm going to open a lot
Where's
of
that
decks.
dude from? Is he from overseas?
No, he's the U.S. So I want to say he's like North Carolina or somewhere like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys in the chat, see if you can come up with some questions. We have some questions for Stu.
Yeah.
Let's ask him a couple, and
I got a good one here, since you brought up a live earlier.
Go for it.
How often are you not wearing pants when you are live?
All the time.
What the
I'm not
hell?
surprised by that, though. Listen, you only need to be waist up. You might as well be comfortable, right?
Dude, you know what the crazy thing? You know what the crazy thing is he probably has no pants on. He has that pillowcase right beside him in a blindfold. I don't even know. I don't even want to know like what else he's doing before or after his live.
That's all right.
There you go. I saw some fabric. We'll call them pants.
Yeah. Pants.
Matt wants to know if you've been attacked by a kangaroo. I feel like
no.
those are not. Yeah, that's not like a mess around. They will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Dude, like I haven't so I haven't been like physically attacked, personally attacked. I haven't been in like fisticuffs with a kangaroo. I've seen footage of the way they fight.
Yeah.
And like they get you in a headlock, right? Those back feet come up and they gut you with that.
Which is crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard they're really like pretty like prevalent. Like they get like you hit them with cars a lot and stuff.
I actually hit one doing 110 kilometers an hour.
So yeah,
Jesus.
So yeah, it's because there's a lot of them there.
Yeah. Well, this was I was driving I live in Queensland. The next state down is New South Wales. That's where I'm from. So it's about a 10-hour drive for me to go back and see my family. So I was driving it, and I was doing it in one trip. So I started in the afternoon. Plan was to drive through the night, be there in the morning. Sweet. So it's about 11 o'clock at night. I'm about halfway down in the back. Like this is in the back of nowhere. You know, it's a 2-lane highway. That's all it is. There's no barriers, and the speed limit's 110.
Right.
So I'm just sitting there with my cruise control on. Next thing you know, I see a kangaroo in my peripherals, and next thing you know, it's just the front of the van's gone.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, you gotta figure it. Yeah, they weigh a couple like 100 pounds, right? So it's not like hitting a deer. It's like hitting like a bear. Yeah. Like they're heavy and they're pure muscle.
One,
yeah,
Dude,
which is crazy.
Hitting a deer it's pretty equivalent to it. Deers are pretty heavy. They will F up your car.
So a deer, though, for perspective, though, a deer is like 110 to 130 pounds usually. A kangaroo's, that's about an average deer weight, because they're a lot of muscle, but they're a small center of mass and a lot of leg. So they're tall, but they're really not crazy heavy. You can get them on the higher end, but like you're really not thinking like it's more like actually like an elk or a moose when you hit a kangaroo.
I love that you come prepared with this knowledge.
So the only reason I know this is because when I got an SUV like years ago, I wanted to buy like a brush guard for the front. And the one I found happened to be out of an Australian company. And I was like, why does Australia have these like massively aggressive brush guards? And I somehow went down this rabbit hole of like kangaroos getting hit by cars in Australia and how it's like a real problem.
Yeah, oh, dude. So
Definitely
the average male deer is about 300 pounds.
What? No.
And the average female is about 125 pounds.
Okay, so more often than not, like at least me personally, I've hit like 5 deer. They've all been female or a baby one time. So I live in New Jersey. There's a ton of deer here. So
do you have do you have a scratch on the side of your car for each deer that you hit?
No. So I think a deer has totaled one of my cars and pretty well damaged a couple others. So if there was any scratch, the whole front end got replaced. So
yeah. Here's what's the worst smelling deck that you've smelled?
NPCC. Anything by them. So what were they did? State of Utopia. They did the Helheim decks.
They've done a lot.
Yeah, anything that Nikolai Arrow does, which is a damn shame. Because he's a damn good artist.
Yeah, but I mean, his decks aren't to be played around with anyway. They're more collective decks, which doesn't really matter what stock they're on.
Yeah, and I think that's the key thing to remember, that like they do high quality decks. They do collectible level decks.
Right.
It's just they smell like shit.
Oh my god.
Matt
said he concurs. NPCs smell strong.
Yeah.
I like how Matt says they smell strong and you say they smell like shit. That's the difference between Matt and you. Have you smelled the new Arrow deck yet?
Yeah, I have.
It doesn't smell like USPCC.
Yeah. It does. I can smell the paper.
Yeah, I mean, but when you open up, like normally when you open up a USPCC deck,
it's pretty pungent. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Arrow decks smell different. Is that
by no means am I like a deck smell connoisseur,
no.
So I couldn't tell you the difference except for when they smell really strong.
Yeah.
I'll have to get up and go for a walk to get the Arrow deck.
Oh, is it in your mailbox?
No. It's just over here in the dark side of the room.
The dark side.
Dark side of the room. My god.
That's where he sits when he does half of his lives, and then he sits on the light side on the other half.
Yeah.
Just wait for the day when he drops the phone and we find out whether or not he actually is wearing pants.
Yeah.
Is he or isn't he?
Right.
So yeah, I got the Arrow deck there.
Nice.
Yeah, it just smells a little different than your average USPCC deck.
Well, because it could be because it's the B stock versus bicycle, maybe.
Yeah.
It does.
It smells different, right? It kind of smells like canola oil a little bit.
There's a food. There's like I was thinking popcorn.
Yeah, it's kind of like canola oil. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. The slippery deck.
Yeah.
Here, this should have been what we put down as your name title there. This is from Lou out there in the crowd. Card sommelier. So.
Right on.
Oh man!
COVID, Kyle said COVID scented.
let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope not. Fucking Kyle.
Maybe that's where it all started from.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
That's so funny.
Listen, I mean, the COVID deck's coming out, so
shouldn't be putting hate on Luke.
I never put hate. I'll never put hate on Luke.
He gets a plug every episode, so we may as well give him a plug now.
He does.
The past couple, it's been him and Nick Nisco getting a lot of plugs, and well deserved. Yeah. I mean,
yep.
There you go. We are zero. Very nice. So, Luke, Stu has you permanently plugged.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And he still hasn't sent me any free shit.
Well, he's perpetually a businessman as well.
Yeah, I think Orbit were willing to give a brick out if you got Orbit tattooed on you.
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
A brick or what?
About it back in. Yeah, probably a brick of orbit. Probably the V5s. The ones that no one likes.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I like the V6s, man.
Yeah, the V5s just sold out. I don't think you can get them anymore.
Actually, still don't own an Orbit deck.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I think like I was just getting into it when the V7 and the V7P like dropped or like somewhere around there. And I just like I wasn't into it at the time. Whatever the next drop is, I'll probably pick something up. But yeah,
I don't blame you. That V7 was a hard sell.
Yeah, I mean it's all about the timing of it though too, because like I mean it was also like at the same time I was seeing like some of the Lautrec decks and I was stumbling through like Stockholm 17 for the first time. I'm like, oh my god, these are beautiful. And then it's like, all right, like Orbit's a nice deck, but not something I'm gonna like clamor over at the time. So
yeah.
And
they're cool. It's definitely not a collector's deck. It's more of a cardistry type deck. The cardistry folks love it. But I think it's cool. It feels really good. The later ones are printed on the web press, so it's definitely feels really cool. There aren't many decks that get printed on the web press, so it's cool to get a deck that is, and they do some good stuff over there.
Get a little something historical in a sense, so it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, they print so many.
That's what happens when you get exposed to decks like Stockholm 17 and Lautrec.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. Because a lot of, I won't say, look, I use this term loosely, regular decks,
right?
They just lose their appeal. It just looks like recycle. Well, not. I'm trying not to be too harsh but it just feels like it's just more of the same shit.
Right.
When you actually see an artist design deck come out and you can see the work that's gone into it.
Right.
And that's something that I really appreciate. I really appreciate when it's done from the ground up. Not just a modification or just modified courts versus custom courts.
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference to be had there, because
totally.
a lot of people just say custom courts or standard courts.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big jump, because there's a lot of decks out there that'll just do modified courts, and they'll say it's custom. It's just all you're not really. You've just recolored certain parts, or you've just blocked out certain parts.
Well, so one of the interesting things I've seen recently too is people using the Black Roses, the redrawn courts that are a little cleaner, which I think it's awesome. Like, listen, at the price point, if you're looking to design a deck and you want to do a relatively standard, deck, why not go for it? But I'm starting to see people looking to start up Kickstarters and calling those custom or redesigned courts, and I'm like, those are standard courts. Let's be very honest about what you're putting together here, but. Yeah, they're a little bit cleaner, and then even at the same time, like at the size, you're seeing like, oh, the Queen's eyes line is a little bit better. Like, no one's gonna know.
Well, I mean,
got you.
That's it. Like, it's really good what Daniel Schneider did there. He gave a new revised vector edition of courts that people can use, that people can purchase and use as a starting point. Or they can just use as a mock-up versus the old cards, versus what used to be on offer. It's just a slight upgrade, and it's a good starting point.
100%.
If you want to see what can be done, and I think it's more just about, it's like upgrading from DVD to Blu-ray. It's same medium, but it's just a crisper looking image.
Yeah, and I think, I think, like you said, there are differences. I mean, obviously Daniel's, I think his is a redesigned court cards, and I think most of the decks that are geared towards Magic kind of stay within those guidelines. So and that's the kind of the direction of all his cards. They're all pretty much standard courts.
Little variations here and there, but standard. Yeah, for sure. So I think him doing that was really cool, and I mean, honestly, I think everybody who's going forward, with new decks are using his
his courts, which is kind of cool. But it is totally different from totally custom courts. And who's your favorite designer?
I'd probably have to say Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Stockholm 17. The work that he does, he just seems to do it so well. I won't say effortlessly. I stumbled a bit there, but effortlessly. Fuck it. He does it with ease.
There you go.
A lot better. That sounded a lot better. Yeah, for sure. He's definitely a talented guy, and I like more of his newer stuff than his older stuff. Even though they were super rad and he was always creative and super talented, but I lean more towards the newer stuff. The new deck that he's designing right now is ridiculous. It's really cool.
Yeah, and that was all like on a whim too. Like he just started throwing stuff together, and it's turned into something like serious real quick.
Yeah. Well, I think that happens with any of his projects.
Yeah.
Someone catches scent of what he's doing, and they're just like, "All right, this has to be done."
Yeah. It's fine. Matt says he's not sure if it's with ease, but it definitely looks masterful.
Yeah.
Which is it's so true, because it's like, obviously we don't see the process that he does. We just see the final outcome, and along the way he'll give us little sneak peeks. But for the most part, he could have been working on that deck for 7 years.
That's the thing, though. Anyone who's actually in his Patreon, he throws a lot of updates out, and this deck's been in the works now for about 2.5 weeks. Yeah, like it's a new deck, fresh out. He's like, I was bored today and started to do this. What do you guys think? And it's already developing into a deck, which is crazy. And it's nice to see how he really is. It's a very iterative process, which I think a lot of people don't take into consideration, whether you're Lorenzo or someone looking to design a new deck. It's an iterative process. Your first thoughts on it are never going to be what the final deck's going to look like. You go through so many, revisions until you finally get something that you like and people like, and him showing that to people is, I think really helpful and really encouraging.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the cool thing I like is I like Lorenzo's totally custom court cards, he's definitely more attractive to the collector, maybe not with like the Raven decks and stuff like that, but I think for his decks, he's more geared towards collecting. Yeah. And then you have someone like Lautrec, who is obviously ridiculous, but his court cards are more standard-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the work that goes into the cards themselves, and in the details within the cards, just make them feel like they're totally custom. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, and I think Lautrec really has a drive for the printing side of things too. Like you can see that with like the tuck on silk, and like you said, a very standard looking court, but with like gold foil faces and like all this crazy stuff, and done in elegant ways, not like gaudy like the plastic $100 gold foil decks.
I've got one of those.
I mean, every once in a while I'm on Amazon and I want to get one, and I talk myself out of it.
But it's got Australian $100 bills on it. Like.
There you go.
Well, they have those in every Las Vegas casino. They have them in the shop for like $2.
Oh man, they are so trashy.
Yeah, they're extremely trashy, especially the ones that have Donald Trump's face on it. Like,
no,
they have those too. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry for you guys that you got to deal with that shit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, dude. You have to deal with it too.
From the rest of the world, we're sorry. We're sorry. Yeah. We understand you made a bad choice. You elected the wrong guy, but.
Hopefully we have a chance to rectify this year, so we'll see how it goes. It's going to be interesting. I mean, this is a campaign year and everyone's trapped inside their house, so
dude, but the cool thing, we're not going to get into politics here, but the cool thing is if we don't have a whatchamacallit?
Election.
If we don't that's the word I'm looking for. If we don't have an election, Nancy Pelosi is the president.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I don't even know who that is, but that just sounds better.
She's the Speaker of the House. So
Sweet.
So let's not have an election. Who cares?
let's give Nancy a go.
Yeah, dude, I don't give a shit if we have an election or not. I would on a perfect day. Yeah, it'd be cool to have an election just because I want to just see all the memes that have come out saying you're fired. But I think it'd be cool to just not have him there at all. But anyway, okay, let's get off that topic. But
let's get off politics, right?
So we get another question here to get us back onto a tangential track here.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I asked you about your pants. We're good there. What hobbies other than collecting cards do you have?
There's not a lot. Cards takes up a lot of my time.
Other than drinking Coke and Monster and coffee.
At the same time, yes.
At the same time.
Yeah, that's it. It's just all energy. It's all energy. I used to do painting, painting, stencil art. Yeah.
Oh, so that's really cool.
I've actually found a whole bunch of my old photos, so I can upload those to my account soon, just so you guys can actually see what I'm on about.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see.
But yeah, it's just stencil art. I've got a few of them up around the house, but I don't know. I can take you on a tour, I guess.
Yeah, let's check them out. I'm curious,
man.
Let's
do a little tour, man. Let's see the tour.
Righto. I'll see how do I flip the camera? Can I flip the camera?
Just turn it around. You should actually, if you double tap on the screen, it should turn.
Maybe. Yeah, it may with.
Oh wait.
There we go.
Word.
Oh, dude, that's dope.
Oh, that's cool. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a skull. That's cool.
Yeah.
Just throw it. Bacon says just throw it in the air.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That was I seen that on a movie somewhere.
Are you a big fan of orange?
Am I a big fan of orange? I like orange.
Okay,
nice.
I could tell. I mean, listen, it's a good color.
Yeah. That's like
nice.
Who's that?
That's like a Jeepers Creepers one that I did.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then there's only one more. You get to look at my feet. Am I wearing pants? Yes, I am.
There we go. Question answered twice.
Yeah. And then there's that one, which is just a bit more of a something.
Oh, cool.
It's the guy from Mudvayne.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Right on. Sweet. That's kind of cool.
I like Mudvayne, but I haven't thought about them in a long time, so thank you for that, Stu.
I have no idea who Mudvayne is, and I think I'm okay with that.
Is my face? Oh no, we got it back.
We got you.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Jeepers. Jamie says, "I'm sorry, but Jeepers was awful."
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. It's like B grade awful. Like that's what's good about it.
He definitely is not like high up on the scary list. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think though, as you go through life too, things get less scary too. So it all depends on when you see things. If you were 6 years old and you saw it, probably shit your pants. But now you'd probably be fine.
Well, I'm old, man. So I saw it when I was in my 20s.
All right, so there you go.
Yeah.
So you probably wasn't as scary as it could have been.
Let me see. I got a question here. All right, are you ready for this? Nick Nisco. Actually, we're I won't even ask it because we're off the kangaroo questions. But
oh no, I have another kangaroo question, so we can bring it right back around.
Yeah. Okay. You can come full circle on that one.
Okay,
that's Australia.
Nick Nisco. I actually have two kangaroo questions. So Nick Nisco says, asks, have you ever eaten a kangaroo?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
How is it?
It's
like chicken.
No. It's a very dark red meat.
Interesting. All right.
It's very lean.
I can see that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying not to burp right into the microphone.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, it's got a very gamey taste to it.
Yeah.
But it cooks a lot like beef.
Right.
But it's just very, very lean. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So if you and that kangaroo in the back, so they must have talking about the picture of you.
Yeah.
If Stu and that kangaroo,
people.
if you guys got into a fight, who would win?
Kangaroo for sure.
Yeah.
Because like if you know me, I'm going to be fighting a kangaroo without pants on.
Right, yeah.
So
And it might kick you. It might kick you where you don't want to be kicked.
Yeah. I'm just going to be guarding my bits the whole time.
So I feel like my kangaroo questions were a little more tame. It was, how many kangaroo themed decks do you have?
None. Oh wait, I might have a souvenir deck with a kangaroo photo on it.
Okay.
And I think I still have some Qantas Vegemite decks.
Ew.
Yeah.
Vegemite? That's gnarly. Vince wants to know why the IG name Batman Stu.
Different Stu.
Different Stu.
I know. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
Maybe, can we throw to Batman Stu and ask him?
Yeah, we should. We should.
I feel like he's been up. He's usually been on before, but I haven't seen him. And we'll have to. We'll give him a good shout out.
I like how people are in the chat saying wrong Stu. Like,
oh man.
All right, I have one. Clever Tricks 101 says, if you're into it, favorite puzzle, if not, or mind reading mentalist trick.
Favorite puzzle would probably be the Infinity, the cast Infinity by Hanayama.
Okay.
Shit, I'm gonna have to unscrew from the tripod again. But I do have it, so I can get it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Have you done it? Have you done it?
Yeah. It takes me about a minute to do.
Oh.
Hang on. Flip back, you fucker. I don't do it. There we go. So this is.
That's dope.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've seen that. I think my girlfriend has that.
So the whole idea is to remove both bearings from the housing.
Let's see it. You said it takes a minute, right?
Hang on, let me reset the tripod so I can go hands free.
Dude, clean up your cords, bro.
I'm not cleaning up shit.
I feel like this was all done specifically for the lighting situation.
It exactly was.
So there you go. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see it.
All right. So let me see if I can remember how to do it.
10 minutes later.
Yeah, it's going to be like that, I think.
Didn't Ramsey do this on his page too?
I can't even get the first one started. Yeah, let's not do that. I haven't done that one in a while.
Your minute's up.
Yeah, that's it. So the minute's up. Let's not do a live puzzle solve. Thank you. Let's not do that, huh?
It was a good attempt. It was a good attempt.
It was a good attempt. So we appreciate it.
It wasn't even at all. Like I couldn't even.
Dude, we were trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, buddy. We were trying.
Yeah, no. I don't need a benefit of the doubt. It was horrible. It was woeful. I should be crucified for that.
Jason Burgess said, "Is this a Ramsey interview?"
It is not. But he may look at this video and be like, "What the fuck is this dude doing here, trying to solve this puzzle?"
Yeah. I still can't even get it started.
You'll have to post when you fit. You have to post
no longer
when you
my
finish
favorite. It. Yeah, no longer my favorite puzzle.
It's let you down.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know what it is? It's because it's been in storage for so long. It's all sticky, like you know.
Yeah. It's sticky, huh?
Yeah.
Sticky. Yeah. Right.
Oh man.
Jamie Bacon wants to know what's your most expensive deck that you own.
I don't know. I don't really have too many expensive decks. I used to have like the Fortuna Exquisite, which was just an expensive deck to buy. But I don't know whether it was worth the money.
Dude, were you? I think you were one of the 3 people who bought it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even buy it. I got given it. So, yeah. And then
that's even better. The person who bought it for you was one of the 3 that bought it.
He was the guy that sold it. Like I got it as a birthday gift from my retailer.
Nice.
Yeah.
He had to get rid of at least one.
And then I traded it off.
Oh man, that is too funny.
It's not. Bacon says it's not a geodeck. Fight me, dude. There's no need to fight you, man. No need. Oh, look who's on. Camo's on. Wait.
Oh, wait. The deck sniffer himself.
The deck eater himself.
Yeah.
Did you saw that video of him cooking it and eating it, right?
Yeah. Well,
oh my god.
You don't have to cook them to eat them.
No, it makes it taste a little better if you put on the right seasoning.
Let me tell you. That video. That video was the funniest video I've ever seen. Which card are you eating? Which one are you eating?
Out of what?
Just a blue bike.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Oh man.
They're good because they don't have a black core.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't think.
You should eat softer. You should eat like crushed ones because they're softer. They'll probably go down easier.
No, that's what the energy drink's for.
There you go. Squeeze it right down. Oh
yeah.
So we got another question here actually. If you could bottle a new card scent, what company's scent would it be?
Cardamundi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any specific stock?
The old B9 stock.
Yeah. All right.
This scent right here. That's my favorite deck scent.
Nice.
For sure. And I still haven't eaten a Cardamundi card.
No?
No.
Out of respect for Cardamundi or just fear of the player?
Out of fear.
Out of the respect for his stomach.
Yeah.
That thing is like a plate. Look how thick those are.
Man, yeah, that is a thick ass card.
Yeah, those are super thick.
Bacon Wise asked
Lewis says it seems processed.
Jamie Morrison or Bacon Wise says, "Can you shit a fan yet?"
I've got the best card reveal ever.
Dude, that's a shitty joke. That's a shitty trick. Get it?
Oh my god!
Spectator follows me into the toilet. Was this your card?
You just have to learn to eat the entire deck and then shit out the card you want on command.
Just shit it out. Turned out the wrong way.
No, are you gonna give them that deck so they could take home as like a souvenir? Or?
I'm gonna give them that piece.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like give them the piece.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Where it is, a little necklace. I don't know. People get upset when I eat expensive decks. I don't know. I copped a bit of shit for eating the watermelon fontaines.
You were telling us about that.
Dude, the watermelon are those? No, the pink ones. We burned the pink ones. Did you see that picture? Yeah, we burned the pink ones.
Yeah.
Dude, hey, your decks, you eat what you want to eat. In fact, they should thank you because you're making all the rest of them more rare because you took one out of circulation.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
All right. So here's my thing.
Yeah.
We all do our things, like our little stitch, like niche things, right? The crazy thing is I thought Stu just like eats a card and that's it, but like he keeps eating it. Like he's been eating cards as we've had this conversation, drinking Monster after. Dude, you don't have to keep going. You already did it.
So I will tell
what are you going to hold on to that for? You know, may as well eat it.
I think one of the first lives I saw of Stu, I jumped on his live and he's literally sitting in his car in a parking lot, just dicking around, and all of a sudden just like picks up a deck and starts eating a card, like no prompting. He's just like, and honestly, I think it was the Grid V2.
Yeah, it was. It was the poker. It was the Joker from the Grid V2.
Yeah, I caught that live and I was just like, this guy is awesome.
And that was like one of the tastiest cards I've eaten. Like I had no problems eating that at all. But I mean, this one's gone down pretty well.
Yeah. Was it tasty or was it just not as bad tasting as other cards?
Just not as bad tasting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried the OPC scented decks yet?
No, I don't want to fuck with that.
No, I mean they're essential. They're essential oils.
I mean, I don't think essential oils taste good. They just smell good. So when you shit it out, it'll smell good.
The thing about my body is that it doesn't like having things put into it that are essential. You know?
All right.
Give me energy drink, give me coffee, give me caffeine, you know. Give me everything I'm not supposed to have and I'll have that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me say, Kyle said Stu sniffs decks, Camo cooks and eats them, and Kyle licks the jokers. You guys got it all covered.
I've never seen Kyle lick a joker yet, so I'm gonna have to catch that at some point.
I haven't either. Yeah. We'll have to have him do it when he's on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like he's gonna regret saying this now.
He gets in there and he licks them good.
Oh my god, man.
That's too funny. Stu, man, when was the first what made you taste a deck of cod? Like what got you into eating cods?
I don't know. It was just something to do, really.
All right.
Yeah.
Just out of the blue, you were bored?
Pretty much. It was just the go-to thing, and like, it wasn't the go-to thing. It was just like, fuck it, I'm bored.
All right.
I'll see what this tastes like.
Did you do it on a live, or did you just do it like by yourself?
The first one I did was the group G2.
So it hasn't been going on that long then.
No. I've been sniffing for quite a while, and the whole thing about like sniffing a deck is to like really appreciate it, take it in, you know, like.
What's his name? Is it Chandler from Rise Magic?
Yeah.
He's the original deck sniffer, right?
Yeah. Well, that's where I first saw it, and then I heard a few people asking me, like, you know, did you sniff it? And it's just like, well,
and
no,
he's got a hefty sniff though. Like if you go watch his videos, like it's so like he's got some amazing lung capacity. First off, sniff for that long. I'm like, holy shit, like it's crazy.
I'm a smoker, man. Like I can't sniff that long.
Stu's like this.
Yeah.
Chandler's like super deep. He has an ASMR video that he has an ASMR video that Tyler sent me, and I literally
it starts out great.
I could only hear it listen to it for the first 7 seconds, and then I was like, all right, I'm done.
It starts out and it's really good because you get like him opening the flap of the tuck, and he kind of like shuffles the cards a little, and it's all very pleasing, and then it's like. And you're like, what the fuck? Like it changes the whole tone of the video.
Yeah. Just ASMR of him sniffing.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out, you got to go to his page and listen to it.
I'll drop that link in the in the comments below. You
please do. We got to throw credit to the originator of the deck.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have him on. He'll be a fun one to have on.
Are they still around? Are they still functioning?
So they post from time to time, but I don't think it's as much anymore.
Yeah, he's busy. He's doing a lot of work with video and stuff like that. I know he got.
But they were all like post college or.
Yeah. Well, he graduated and then he was sick for a while, I think. Yeah, so I think he's doing a lot of video, some work stuff, but they've been posting. I've been getting notifications when they post.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So
good to see they're still around.
I do have 2 follow-up deck eating questions here since we were on it still a little bit. So now that I know it's a little bit shorter term, I'm assuming you haven't eaten that many cards. So my first question was going to be have you eaten a full deck of cards yet? But I don't think you've gotten there. That's good. My other question go ahead.
Up to 12 or 13.
Okay, not too bad.
Oh,
my other question is, have you eaten one by yourself? Not on a live, no prompting, just been at home and ate it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I respect that now.
That's when you have to go see someone. Because once you're talking about it by yourself, that's when you have a problem.
Oh man, I love it.
I found an old scrunched up card, and I'm just like.
All I can do is picture. I can picture Stu sitting on his bed with no pants on, with his socks, being all sad and looking out the window, and then just bite into a card.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, times are tough, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Amber just said, if the world runs out of food, Stu's covered with cards.
Yep. Yep.
Decks for nutrients.
I'm also covered with toilet paper, so that's
There
good.
you go.
Lee actually asked a good question. He said, "Would you ever eat a gilded deck?"
I would recommend against that one.
Yeah,
Like that's metal flakes. Yeah, you get some.
Yeah.
There's some good chance you get some like heavy metal poisoning off of that.
Yeah, I haven't even eaten like a foiled deck yet.
Oof.
Well, I'd stay away from that.
Yeah, I'd stick to the regular
probably
stuff.
stay away from eating decks, period. But
if I had to see, I think actually
that's what Lee Asher said to me. Lee Asher said you really shouldn't be doing that.
It's funny because Steve and I have been like looking at a lot of decks recently and talking about them with the new segment deck specs. And one of the things we've been seeing is that USPCC is really moving towards more like sustainable decks. So they're using like sustainably harvest wood, but now a lot of their lacquers are water-based. So they're probably not as bad as like a deck from a couple of years ago actually would have been for you. So it may not actually be,
as long as they're not using recycled toilet fiber. If I find that out.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them.
But if I find that out, that I've just literally been eating shit paper.
I mean, let's be honest. I think here's a question: do you eat old cards or new cards?
New cards.
Okay, all right. So I didn't know if you like would play with a deck for like 2 months and get all your like nasty hands on it and then bite into it.
Yeah, no, I haven't eaten any old cards like that yet.
No,
they've all been relatively new. They get that.
Probably a smart move.
They still tear nice. I mean, like you look at an old deck and they go like spotty, and it just doesn't look good. Like it looks like you're eating mold.
Yeah, when your deck starts plumping, you don't want to be eating it. Who knows what's on it?
Yeah, that's right.
Like this.
Yeah, like it's probably got so much like just so much stuff on it. You definitely don't want to be eating that.
Yeah, this deck. I actually just ordered fanning powder today, so I'll have it tomorrow, and it'll be fun to see. I'm gonna do fanning powder on my first deck, and we'll see how it comes back to life. You guys are the first witnesses on the before, and I'll show you the after next time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
so
I haven't used it yet.
Fanning powder?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't even know about it until recently. Until I don't know if it was Lucas Magic mentioned it. I think it was Lucas. Yeah, he mentioned it. He actually reached out and he's like, "Do you have any decks that are just horrible sticking together?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for what?" And he goes, "Because I put fanning powder on it." And I'm like, "What the hell is fanning powder?" I like how they call it.
I heard about it a while ago, but I've never ordered it.
Yeah, it's stupid cheap. Like it's super cheap. But I'm gonna try it out and see. Like I saw a video. I think it was Lucas. I saw a video of him like applying it and I mean,
is it just like talcum powder?
It's fucking baby powder. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just baby powder your decks.
You gotta smack it on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll do a video just for you, Stu. Okay.
Yes.
When I get it, I'll just take a bunch and I'll go.
Yeah.
So Vince actually asked a little bit earlier, how many incomplete decks do you have now because of the card eating?
I'd say about 12 or 13.
I think you just gotta make it through one deck fully.
Yeah.
Now, do you usually eat the same card of each deck, or do you just whatever you pull out?
Sometimes I random it. Most times it is the 7 of spades.
Okay.
Because most times I do end up doing it on a live. So.
Most times.
Other times it's a double backer or a blank face or a duplicate. I'm not a performing magician.
Okay. But you know how to make cards disappear.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I just don't have any use for a double backer or a blank face card. Or a
I have a double back. Like I have a double backer for you.
That's got all your hand juice on it.
yeah, but I'm gonna smack it with talcum tomorrow. So you'll be good.
So
just
Clint,
throw it in an envelope, send it across. I'll eat it.
Clint actually had a great one for you. Would you be down for a food challenge where you eat an entire uncut?
Right, eat an entire uncut. Dude, I just had an uncut out last night, like looking at it. Like, no.
That's horrendous.
I'd be down for a group challenge where maybe like 10 of us sat down and tried to eat our way through an uncut pizza.
It's,
Like,
I think that's reasonable.
And
Yeah.
like a New York pizza deck. You can do the New York pizza deck. It'd be uncut pizza deck.
We'll just get like an uncut sheet and then just like cover it in cheese and shits and the
Dude,
nice sauce.
you probably wouldn't even know. Yeah.
You and Camo could do that.
Yeah.
That motherfucker. You saw that video of him, right?
Yeah. I was just thinking maybe even I could just like deep fry them.
Yeah.
And turn them into like card chips, and we could do like
Camo.
nachos.
Camo said he's down.
Yes.
I'd pay to watch that. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
You guys should just make a pizza out of it. Literally, just like.
Well, I think either pizza or nachos, something like that. Make tacos.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
I think,
fry them up a little bit so they get a little bit of crisp to them. You could definitely make a good taco shell.
Yeah, definitely.
Camo's gonna totally do a video of this. I already know it.
Yes. Please.
Pizza.
Please. I don't know.
We're making him hungry.
Help.
We're making him hungry, he said.
Oh, man.
Oh my god. I have a headache.
I was thinking about doing like pasta and just getting a whole deck on the cheese grater and just going like that and just like grate some fresh cards over my pasta.
Oh my god. It'd probably go down pretty easy.
Dude, you know what? You should do it. Like, you should do a photo series of that. You've heard it from me first. Do a photo series and basically, so someone's going to do it after this conversation, obviously, but open up a new Instagram account. Do it right after this so nobody else does it first. Camo's probably already doing it right now. But open up your new Instagram and, like, whatever, a clever name, like Sitting with Stu or something, I don't know. And then, like, do cards, whether it's like pasta, pizza, like just do all. It'd be like a foodie, but with cards.
With playing cards is the base.
Playing cards integrated with it. It would be fucking hilarious. You should do that.
And the clever name is Cooking with Cards.
Yeah, cooking with cards.
So there you go.
You can call it Stu the Cardy.
just get a bowl of curry and just put a card in it. It's like served.
Yeah. Dude, it would be hilarious. You should do that.
Bacon wise, actually,
I'll just do it on my same account.
Bacon had a good like tagline for it. What will Stu poo?
Well, at this stage, it's going to be a blue bike, seven of spades.
Yeah. I don't know. Jason came up with it. Card cuisine.
Card cuisine.
Yeah.
Stu, what I really want to see is I want to see you shit out a 7 of hearts now.
Actually,
that means there's something wrong with you internally.
Stu, just for the record, I'm the one that doesn't want to see you shit. Tyler wants to see you shit.
I just want to see the post shit reveal.
Dude, I'm me and I don't even want to see me shit.
Oh my god. I can't.
This is me going to the toilet. Like.
So now we know what the blindfold for.
I fucking bird box that shit, man. I got a little string and everything, you know, little boy, little girl, boy, girl, you know.
Oh my god.
What are we gonna put for a title on this? Stu talks about poo.
Yeah, probably.
What will Stu poo?
Yeah.
See Stu's deck reveal.
Yeah.
Bacon loves this discussion, he said.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad.
Poor Kyle. I think Kyle's like the one person in the COD community that his shit never works. His truck doesn't work. His phone doesn't work.
That is it.
Dude, he must have reboot his shit like 17 times since we've been live today.
Yeah.
He's back at least, so let's get his question in there before his phone dies again.
All right.
So Kyle's question this week is, why do they put Braille on the number pads of drive-through bank machines?
I don't think we have a drive-through bank machine here. Why do you need a drive-through bank machine? how the fuck can't you just like, what the fuck?
You don't have drive-through bank machines?
Why do you need to drive through? Just walk up to the fucking thing.
Dude.
That's not a hard thing.
So let's pose the same question though of why do they put it on a walk-up bank machine?
I don't know.
Alright.
I don't have any examples of Australian currency over here, but I think like we have really crazy money over here.
It's like
everything
plastic
about-
and like high,
Yeah.
multicolored,
Yeah,
right?
we got plastic and we got see-through panels.
Yeah.
Also on our new notes that come out, we also have Braille markings so that
Nice.
the blind can actually tell what note is what.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if I was a bank, I'd put the wrong Braille markings on the wrong numbers so the fucking blind people get ripped off every time.
Fucked up, man. Fucked up.
So, dude, yeah, it's funny because like probably a couple of years ago, I watched a video talking about how Australia has the most difficult currency to actually counterfeit because of all the measures they put in place with it, which is really neat. But it's all like different like vibrant colors and plastic and shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, our $50 note is like bright yellow. Our $20 note's like bright orange.
nice.
He's like, I don't remember what color they are. I haven't seen it so
Well,
long.
like it's like a reddy orange, you know.
Yeah.
Like a cross between. I was trying to think of the exact color. We just call it a lobster over here
All right.
because it
So
looks like a
yeah.
lobster.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, we have the ugliest money out of like the world.
It's just it's
do.
it's not creative at all. It's unoriginal.
No, it's just the
No.
same shit over and over again,
No.
though. Just a different president's face on it.
Well, so now each denomination above a single dollar has different colors on it, but like they're still like shitty colors. It's like pale blue, pale red, pale green. Like, all right, awesome.
Yeah. Way to
Yeah.
innovate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We're not good about that. Eventually every country's going to go to like plastic just because it makes sense for it because it's
Oh, for
easier
sure.
to like prevent the counterfeiting. But
Yep.
yeah, we're just bad about it, and you can get a lot better colors. Obviously, you can't get vibrant yellow on cotton-based paper. So
Yeah.
you get a lot of bleed, and it's not as good. But plastic, you can make plastic any color under the sun you want. So
Well, that's
Sure.
the funny thing, though. Like, you've got the most bland-looking currency in the world, but like you also got the most recognizable currency in the world.
yeah,
Right,
which is sad.
So, well, I mean, it's kind of funny, but I mean, like in the same sense, I watched an Australian movie the other day that I didn't know. I knew about the movie. It's called Suicide Theory. It's about a guy that tries to pay someone to kill him, but the guy just continually fails because the guy can't die. So this guy just keeps fucking getting killed over and over again. That's pretty cool. Yeah. But I didn't know it was Australian. They opened this bag of money in the intro credits, and all this is bright yellow currency just showing out. And like immediately, I knew it was Australian at that point. And it just looked so out of place because it was like a transaction going down between two bad people. And like one of them opens a bag,
like
and
Big
just all of a
Bird
sudden,
money.
just this bright yellow money just shines out, and it's just like, what's this fucking Monopoly shit?
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
I'm not gonna lie, I like some Australian shows. They have some good television. So you guys have some decent shows. Yeah, like Rake, which I don't think that's on anymore, but that was a good one. The show
It's not on anymore because it wasn't good.
No, it got like 5 seasons. It got like 5 seasons. There was another one called Glitch, which was interesting. So
How long did that last?
like 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, these are
like 3 or 4 episodes.
No, but dude, 3 seasons is a decent run these days. Half the stuff gets canceled
I
after
don't even
one.
watch Australian TV.
Well, there's some decent things.
Yeah, I don't even have an aerial in my house.
No,
No, what?
like an antenna.
Like an antenna, a TV aerial. We call it
Oh,
an aerial.
Aerial?
Well, you guys still have pretty like you have a lot of like accessibility to over the air.
Oh
For,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
antenna, yeah, which we don't really like have that much in the States anymore. Like they're trying to bring it back to some extent, but if you're in any way in a rural area, you're shit out of luck.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
nice. So before we wrap here, anyone have any questions in the chat that we brought? Damn, that's a nice fan though, Stu.
Nice.
Oh, that's why I love these cards.
No, I do like. I've never actually. Are those the Neos or are they just 310s?
310 alphas.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not very familiar
They
with the
kind of look like
Kopag.
they kind of look like the Sears a little bit.
Yeah. They've got no faces on them.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Nice.
Yeah. It's just a pure
Nice.
cardistry deck.
That's cool.
So baking is wrapping us back to the eating question. Have you ever eaten a tuck?
Have I? No. Should I?
No.
No.
Okay.
Matt
Probably
Matt
not tonight.
Matt said, "What's your favorite deck?"
That's such a hard question to narrow it down to one deck.
Yep.
If
Go for
I
your
had
top
to,
3 then.
I mean, like if I had to, you can't see because of the fucking lights.
Is that the Malliance?
Yeah, the Madison, the Charlie Madisons.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're definitely one of my top 3. Memento Mori.
The
big
original.
ones.
The original.
Yeah. And probably House of the Rising Spades.
Nice. That's one of my favorites too, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
House of the Rising Spade, not Spades.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the Cartomancer edition, like versus Room 17 and versus the Pharaoh edition. The Pharaoh edition's nice because it's white. It gives that clean look. It's printed by USPC, but regardless of that, the whole overall look is a lot cleaner. I like the dark vibe of the Cartomancer edition.
Yeah.
And plus that black and gold foil. Like,
it's beautiful. That deck is beautiful. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
That's definitely, I've said it a million times. It's one of my favorite decks that, I think the Room 17 as a whole, I wish the Room 17 had the black and gold tuck. Like, I wish it was like a different tuck than the red and gold. Yeah. Even though the tuck is obviously beautiful, but I think for me, just the deck itself is just so beautiful with all gold gilding. It kind of sealed the deck and made it that much more luxurious for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely top on my list for sure. Let's see. Clint wants to know, are you going to design your own deck?
I've thought about it. I don't know.
Good
I'd
answer.
I'd rather team up with someone. I'd rather team up with a designer, I think.
Who do you want to team up with?
A tattooist.
Well,
okay.
Why don't you go to Madison?
Anyone can go to Madison.
Right.
You know
who you should do? You should go to DJ from the dude who's won Master Inc. a couple times.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Dude's epic.
I've got one amazing. Of my tattooists over here that I'd like to collaborate with one day.
Nice.
Do it.
But nice. I just need to like come up with the whole overall theme for the deck. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do a tattoo design deck.
Right.
But I want the designs to be done by a tattooist.
Totally.
If that makes sense, there's a big difference between like a tattoo tribute deck or a tattoo theme deck than just something that's just been designed by someone that's used to working with lines.
Right. Yeah.
And I've got a friend over here, and she's a really good artist. But like I said, I still just got to come up with an overall theme for the deck. And the whole thing behind that is I want to do a deck when I'm ready to do a deck. I don't want to do one just for the sake of, okay, I'm going to do one.
Right.
I want to make sure the story and the meaning behind it's right. I don't want to just put something out for the sake of putting something out.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll need more too.
Yeah, but that's just the way I am with my art and anything that I do. Like with my stencil art and stuff like that, I was always pretty private about it. I've done like 40 or 50 different paintings, but I was always pretty quiet about it just because I do it for myself. Yeah. And I think once I start doing a deck that I have to market on Kickstarter, I obviously have to put features in there for other people. And that's something I don't know whether I'm willing to compromise with yet or not. I kind of like doing me for me.
I mean, I think if your story, I mean, like you said, if you have the story and the meaning behind it, you don't necessarily have to create it for someone because they'll connect with that story and they'll appreciate it much more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of decks too that really succeed when they do get created have that story that is relatable, or not even necessarily relatable, but interesting. Like I know
I think interesting's
Yeah.
You just want to have something that's well researched. So if you're going to put a theme to a deck, you want to be as accurate as you can with it. You don't want to just take. I think there's again a difference between inspired by and a theme deck. You know, something that's been inspired by a theme or something that is particularly geared towards something.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of inspiration decks out there that have been inspired by something but just haven't really sort of delved into it. But you know, there's also a lot of projects out there that don't get funded or don't get recognized because the hype value isn't there, but the story's really well researched.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
true.
that's the tricky part with marketing, I guess, is that you want to do a good job to your standards and by what you want to put out there, but you want to make sure that it's also catchy enough and hypey enough that you know you're also going to pick up random sales as well.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Clint. So before we close, I know we could probably talk for hours, but before we close up, so do you know Clint? Clint lives in Australia, which is why he's coming up with all these Australian questions. But he said, "What's your favorite Aussie?" What?
I said, if you don't know Clint, you should definitely talk. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and he's in Australia. So
what's his username?
It's
Deck Eclectic. The Deck Eclectic.
Oh yeah. I know the Deck Eclectic.
Yeah.
Isn't he the other Stu?
No, so that's Batman Stu.
Yeah, that's Batman Stu.
Yeah, Deck Eclectic is Clint.
It's Clint?
Yeah, his name's Clint.
I thought it was
anyway.
Stu. No, because there's another Australian Stu.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not Clint.
Yeah. Well, I've been
That's
talking
the
to
other
the Deck
Stu.
Eclectic. I've been talking to the Deck Eclectic.
Yeah. He is also in Australia, but he wants to know what Lou said he thought his name was Stu too, but no.
Yeah. See, I swear there's some conspiracy going on here.
Yeah, it's called you and Lou are conspiring with each other. It has nothing to do with
Oh, he said you and him originally met on his other account called Stu Meister.
I knew I wasn't going crazy.
All right. There you go.
So Clint's question though was, what is your favorite Aussie saying?
Triple Bobby. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. I just love the fact that we just call each other cunts.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one.
Oh my god.
Like in Australia, like that word is just used so often.
Yeah.
You know. And
I have friends that are that live in Australia and they use that word all the time.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to drop it on your live, but
no, you're good.
No, dude, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
This is a raw and honest show, so you can drop whatever you want.
Yeah. On that note,
Guns.
Oh my god. Well, Stu,
we're not gonna find you. We're not gonna find you. You're good.
Stu, we had a blast having you on, though, man. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
It was fun.
And honestly, like I feel like this is probably like the first time I've actually done a live with you. So we should definitely, it was nice to be able to have multiple people on and get you out here and kind of get a lot of the questions in the chat going. And it's always nice to not have the lag that Instagram chat always has.
Oh, I know, right?
It's terrible, man. It's absolutely terrible. But thank you so much. We really do appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, everybody, for coming on and hanging out. It was such a pleasure. And Stu, it was awesome. And I look forward to chatting with you more, dude.
Yeah. Sweet. Thanks,
and before we jump off, make sure to like the video, guys. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching Deckin Around.
Who's going to be on next week?
Oh, god damn it. I keep forgetting this. So before you all run off, our guest next week is going to be ECAT. So I hope you guys will check it out. Should be a fun one. Yeah. Stu's like, fuck.
You're following up. Like, you've had all like these awesome guests on, and then it's like Stu. And then it's just like back to awesome again. Like.
Stu, I gotta say, I think I've laughed more on this episode though than any other one. So kudos to you on that.
True
it was
story,
a blast. Man. So
True
we
story.
really do appreciate it. And and again, thanks so much for being on, man.
Yeah, I've had fun, guys. Thank you.
Peace out, everybody.
See you, everybody. Have a nice night.